It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood. A beautiful day in this neighborhood. Won't you be mine? Won't you be my neighbor? Hey, y'all. Y'all, listen. I think I scheduled this live. I think this is my third or fourth time, and I thought, well, I think I'll just put it off till tomorrow because I got over there on Eric's and wanted to hear that, and I really didn't know Eric was going to go live today, but he did. And this wasn't a big deal. I was just going to share some things about Meridian, my hometown. Hi, Zephyr. Hi, Kathy. I hope everybody's doing good today. It's another hot day here. It sure is, y'all. I'm ready. Fall cannot come soon enough for me. I'm ready for the trick or treaters. I'm ready for Thanksgiving. I'm ready for some turkey and some dressing and some cranberry sauce, some deviled eggs, some sweet taters. Yes, I'm ready for all that. But most of all, I'm ready for these cooler temperatures that are somewhere out there, but it's still a long ways off. Um, yeah, we are a city. We are technically a city, but it's a city with a hometown feel. And I know a lot of people, even Fiona, will ask me about Meridian because and especially I think because I don't think most Americans give two hoots or a holler about Meridian. But I know people from other countries, it's they like seeing things that are different, and I do too. That's why I love looking at photographs from other countries. It's because I see things I'm not familiar with and places I'll likely never go or ever be. And one thing that I have really noticed about places around the world, there are some really beautiful places. I don't know if Meridian would be considered a beautiful place. You know, it's home to me. You know how we feel about our hometown. Uh, but there are a lot of cities that are really beautiful here in the United States. And I know Savannah, Georgia, Charleston, South Carolina. Is it South Carolina or North Carolina? It's one of them Carolinas. And there's a lot of beautiful places in Florida and Georgia, even in Louisiana and Tennessee. Beautiful areas in Tennessee. In Texas, there are beautiful places. There are beautiful places in Arizona. There's beautiful places in Nevada and California. Listen, there are just beautiful places in the United States. But today I want to talk about my hometown because it's the one that I know the most about. And I have a Facebook group, and I was, a historian for over 40 years with Meridian and tens of thousands of photographs and history on every photograph from the beginning, from the very beginning, even as downtown was being built. I have all those photographs, like the 3-foot building that you see off in the distance with a purple. It's now the 3-foot hotel. Well, one thing that Meridian's doing now is, and it started with my bank, my downtown bank, the branch downtown. They did renovations, and all of downtown Meridian is doing renovations. They're restoring properties and you have to do that. You know you have to take care of these old buildings, and we've lost over half of our downtown through neglect, through the weather, roofs not being uh, in good condition where water gets in, and windows, and some windows, because we have tornadoes, would be broken out in these abandoned properties that could have been saved. But the people who owned the properties, they just didn't want to put money into them, and they just let them sit there for decades and decades. And the elements got to the mortar, and bricks became shifting. They would shift because of the mortar, and damage to the hardwood floors and the joists, and of course the studs and the walls. And these are buildings that were built in the 1800s, early 1900s, and all hardwood, not like buildings of today. No pine went in these buildings. They were solid structures, but the elements over a course of decades make them so weak, and the bricks shift, and the buildings collapse. We had 3 buildings to collapse, just come down all by themselves. Others had to be torn down. Others caught fire, or I should say, were set on fire. And there's a big area, Mississippi State University, Meridian branch downtown, just bought 2 blocks and have torn down even more of our buildings. But they are going to put housing, and it's going to be beautiful. It's going to kind of fit in with the downtown, the old downtown. But it's going to be 2 blocks because the Mississippi State branch, Meridian, has grown, because this is a lot of the medical things are happening here in Meridian. So it's going to be housing for students to come, and it's going to make the downtown look better. And it was very sad because a lot of the buildings I remember from my childhood. I remember Draven's dress shop, and of course, it's gone. I remember Bud's menswear. I think it was Bud's men's shop. That's where my dad went and got his suits. It's gone. A lot of these places of my childhood, they're gone. And the future is not ready really for my generation. Meridian's future isn't for my generation. It's for the upcoming generation. So sometimes we have to let go of our ideals about our city, about our hometown, and realize nothing ever stays the same. And I think that's why I love all the old photographs and my archives and sharing them with people. And people, get very sentimental, and nostalgia sets in. And some people get very sad. And I just have to remind people, the future isn't ours. It's for those young people coming up. And what we're left with is all we will have. So let's take a trip. Let's take a trip downtown. So yeah, these are the lights and a lot of the buildings, because that's how trends started, isn't it? It's like, oh, we like and the lights can actually change on all the buildings depending on the holidays. Like if it's St. Patrick's Day, everybody does green, or if it's Christmas, it's red and green. If it's Valentine's, it's all red. If it's red, white, and blue, like the 4th of July, or all these things. So I think that's pretty cool too, And one thing too, these lights can be seen from the interstate. So it kind of like, like people say, oh, maybe we need to stop in Meridian. So, that's a good thing. That's a really good thing, because you want people to stop and eat in your town, maybe get a hotel in your town, maybe visit downtown and the shops and all that, and or any events that going on. You want people, especially people that maybe are thinking of relocating. You want to capture their attention. And so yeah, so yeah, it looks like Mardi Gras, don't it? And you know what? I bet Mardi Gras it will be um purple, yellow, and green. I bet all these buildings will be those colors. But and I think it's just fun. I think it's fun for them too, and I think the kids really like it. You know, I remember the fountain in front of City Hall. It's no longer there, but it was there most of my life. It came up in the 90s. They took it up, maybe the late night, maybe 2000, and it had the lights in it. And my mom and dad used to at night would drive us to City Hall and park and let us just watch the lights on the fountain, and we thought it was magical. And this picture kind of reminds me of that. Hi, Deb. It's nice to see you. Okay, let's take a little trip, and I'm having to do these like 8 pictures at a time. I've got a lot of them, but because StreamYard won't let me upload the ones that I want, so I have to take my time. The first thing I'm going to do is, and of course, here's just another. Well, that's okay. This is just another view, and what you see right there is 22nd Avenue, and this is taken up on the mountain, um, which is actually the foothills of Appalachians. And what you see right there is 22nd Avenue, and it goes from the interstate, and about where this is, it's just very, very close to the interstate. So you can see that, you can see those lights. And yeah, the first thing I want to start with, because somebody asked me several months ago about Bonita Lakes, and this is Bonita Lakes, and I had shown aerial views, and where the mall was, and people said, "Well, that's right at in the backyard of the mall, and all that, and all the businesses at Crossroads." And Crossroads has, of course, Chick-fil-A, it has Chili's, Dickey's Barbecue, Nuke's Restaurant, it has Hobby Lobby, Academy Sportswear, Aldi, Ulta, Michaels, Five Below, Shoe Carnival, Merle Norman, Sports Clips, um, Honey Baked Ham. It has all. It's just a big shopping center, and it's got so many more things. And I think it's called Crumble Cookies. It's got that. I mean, it's got this, and it's right there by the mall too. So we got this big old mall. We got this big old shopping center. We got all of it built up, and Bonita Lakes is right there. You leave out from where Crossroads meets up with the mall, and you take a right, and it's just like, I'm gonna say maybe 2/10 of a mile, and you turn in to the lakes. And I know people were like, I can't believe that is right there. And it is. And it's hundreds of acres. It's got horse trails for you to ride your horses. It's got bike trails. It's got trails for walking in the woods. I don't do that because some man was out there exposing himself. But it's got tracks all around. It's 3 lakes, and it's got tracks all the way around all the lakes. And It's got pavilions. It has gazebos. It has exercise equipment, outdoor exercise equipment, playground equipment. It's just a it's just a place to kind of get away, and we kind of refer to it as Meridian's Central Park, but it's Bonita Lakes, and of course there's boating and fishing, and I think a lot of people, because you can see it, you pretty much like even from the interstate, and people are kind of confused, like this was actually the waterworks pond, the ponds I should, because it's three of them. It was Meridian's waterworks ponds, and they went in and they decided to make it more like a recreational place. And a lot of people, and I know it's unusual, but I think we're very lucky to have it. And it's right, and all the hotels are right there by it, and people love it. Like when they travel, they go over it and they walk, especially if they've been in their car all day traveling for 6 to 8 hours to get out and walk around. And so yeah, that's I wanted to kind of explain that. And let's see. Now this here on on the right, this is part of Meridian High School. You can see, and I told y'all before that you see the little banners upon on the light poles. Meridian is full of these banners that has actually like a wildcat print, like a paw print, and the colors are blue and white. But yeah, Meridian's got, but at least they keep the banners up and take them down where they don't get look raggedy and faded. I have to say that's one thing Meridian does is keep these banners up. They look nice. And this is the football field. Meridian High School Wildcats. I have sat in them stadiums more, and right behind that is the school, is the high school. And when I went there, it was 11th and 12th grade. Now they built a new building that you can see over on the right, and that is now ninth, 10th, and then the other campus is 11th and 12th. So they moved, they built that. So you got ninth, 10th, 11th, 12th. But I liked it because it was just juniors and seniors. And, but yeah, that's where I went to school. That's where my boyfriend Greg would, he would take me to the football games, and we'd go up to the top and we'd make out. Yeah, that's y'all know me. That's the truth, and that's just another view from the school down to the football field, and that is Ray Stadium, and this is where Elvis Presley came and put on a concert when he came to Meridian. I'm deleting these as I go, and this is just a overview of Meridian. And I told y'all Meridian is a railroad hub, and right there with the clay, it's the terracotta clay roof. That is our Union Station. That is where Amtrak and Greyhound bus station is, and of course, that's where all the trains come through, and that is where my grandfather, he was engineer of Southern Railroad, and of course, just a aerial view. And industry, I wanted to put this so y'all know. I know I talked recently about Atlas roofing and how much it smells certain times of the year, especially when it gets hot. And this is just Atlas roofing. And when you go along the interstate, like from the airport exit to the exit by the malls, um, there's a portion, it smells your car up because the paper and the wood, it gets wet, and it smells like sewage. It really does. And so they make Atlas roofing, And Atlas Roofing is on a lot of people's homes throughout the United States, and that's where they make it. And of course, I should have got a picture of Delco Remy, because Delco was a really big, industry here in Meridian, but I didn't. And of course, we have Lockheed Martin, and they make the something Douglas airplanes. I can't remember, and I really never really been interested in it. But I mean, I know they work on airplanes, and I used to. It's Douglas something airplane, but I think they do others as well. And I think we're very lucky. And we also have Dean out there, and it's next to the airport, and they build planes as well. So we're very lucky in that. We really are. And let me grab some more photos, because I'm just taking y'all along. Listen, I'm your tour guide. What do you mean you don't care? Of course you care. You better care. I'm doing this for you. Let me grab some more. Oh, also, I want to show y'all something. Like on 10, I think it's Downing Street, in that, like, where the Prime Minister and all that is. Well, the cat, I think it's Larry the cat. Well, we have a cat. We do. We really do. And actually, is everyone takes care of the cat downtown. I'm trying to find that little kitty. Little kitty, kitty, kitty. Where you at? Oh, there you are. I got another picture of him too, but I don't see it right off, but that's okay. But that's okay. Oh, there it is. I found it. Okay. Hopefully all these will load. Oh, I don't think it will. I selected 12. It's probably going to tell me, you ain't got enough space. We'll see. We will see. Okay. Now, here's our cat. This is our cat. This is the Queen City's cat. And I think his name is just Cat. I don't know what his name is. I just call him Cat. But where is it? It didn't load. It didn't load. Or did it? Yeah, it did. There it is. See him? They painted him. Remember the alley? I already showed y'all one mural. Well, they've done two more. This is one, and the entire alley is going to be painted in different murals. And they put actually, here it is right here. This is that's the first that's the first mural they did, and they were having music out there and people drinking, and they have all kind of things. They even have like people that like have different artwork they do. I don't even think I put that up. Well, that's okay if I didn't, but I'll show it in a minute. But of course, here they are. They're painting. They're still painting another section of it, but they're going to eventually do both sides of the alley, and it's all going to be painted different. Each section is going to be different, and yeah, it's become a very useful place, and a lot of people are enjoying it. And yeah, but see, there's a little cat, and here's his picture. See? Oh, here it is. Oh, I think I already showed that. Okay, there's another one I want to show. And of course, we got there's the crooked letter under the giveaway I was gonna do when I hit well, I'm not gonna go over that. It's too painful. It's too painful to relive. But and this is just Meridian is busy. It's a busy little downtown for us to be the size that we are. And this is the bakery, the new bakery here. Um and it's good. And then we got another bakery that just opened called the Carousel. I showed y'all that the other day. I'm probably not gonna show that today, but I showed it to y'all the other day, the Carousel. And so now we got two bakeries downtown, plus right up the road we got Lee's Donuts. Or I go get them raspberry filled donuts. And of course, this is the Mississippi Arts and Entertainment Experience. And this is actually like a whole thing. And is with people who are actors and actresses, musicians, singers, people who write books, people who write music, people who what else they do? Oh, what else they do? Screenplays, all different kinds of things. Like John Grisham, he writes a lot of novels, and most of his books have been turned into movies, and so he's in there. And which what I mean, who would have ever thought that this man would write so many books and be turned into movies? Good for him. But this is what this is. And let's see. Take these all down. I should take them down as I go along. But isn't that a healthy looking cat? I'm gonna tell you, all these restaurants downtown, they feed that cat so well. It's like, okay, kitty. And here's our trolley. It's actually, y'all, it's no, we had trolleys on rails just like they have in San Francisco and New Orleans, but they got rid of them. But rather than having the trolleys, we have buses that look like trolleys, and you can ride free all day Saturday. And then it's not much to ride in the week. It's very inexpensive, which I think they're cute. But I like that they, offer free rides, to wherever, all over downtown. And of course, this is the mall, and right behind it, like this is the front of the mall. Right behind it is where those lakes are. And this used to be called Bonita Lakes Mall, but they sold it to another company, and they changed it to Uptown Mall, which I think is so stupid. I wish they would have left it Bonita Lakes Mall, because that vicinity where this is built was called Bonita. That's why Bonita Lakes Lakes is called Bonita Lakes, and that whole area. And it's like, why change the name? But they did. They did, and I guess it don't matter. And here is Mississippi State University Meridian branch, and this is just a small portion of it. It's other buildings as well. And now they've taken two city blocks. They've knocked down um, the buildings, and they are about to build Well, it's like I said. Okay, let me see. Where's that picture I was going to show y'all? And this just is all this is just stuff that happens downtown, y'all. I mean, downtown is so busy. It really is. And you can just stop in any place and eat. And which makes it really, really nice. I don't even think I showed that one. I don't even think it loaded. I'm gonna do 11. Maybe all of these will load. Let me say hello to people. Hi, JP and Kathy. Hi, Cammy. Oh no, you're not mad at your dog Harold. Oh no. Oh no, Cammy. Oh. Shoot. I didn't know that, Zephyr. I sure didn't know that. JP, I hope you're doing okay. Hi, Jess. How you doing, Jess? You doing all right? Okay, and they just restored this building completely. It is the people that have it is Castle, and but they named it Melton Hardware because they wanted to restore it back to when this building was built. But it's Castle, and they do uh like pipes for like industrial pipes, and this is their offices here. And they did a great job restoring that building. And that's right there on the next to the 22nd Avenue overpass. And of course, this is Mississippi's oldest restaurant. It was built in 1870, and it's still in operation. And that's the alley that where that sign is that says Weidman's. That is the alley that they're, and the whole, all of it's going to be from that, on each side is going to be painted. They're working on the opposite side, but it's a nice little space, and people get out there and play music. People get out there and do all sorts of things, which is good. And this is the Liberty Shop. They lost their awnings. I complained about the awnings being blown off. Well, their awnings got blown off too, and that's just the frame for their own. I guess they're going to get new awnings, and that's the Liberty Shop, and they've been in business over 50 years. I don't know what this is. Oh, that's just Queen City cigar, and they got a place in there, and they you can go in there and buy a cigar. Well, not well. I guess women could if they smoke cigars, but a lot of the men like to go in there and hang out, and they have like the old fashioned traditional lounge for smoking cigars and having cocktail, and it stays pretty busy. And they sell all sorts of, I didn't realize there were so many different kinds of cigars, and some are very, very expensive. But it's kind of like, women can go in there. I mean, I'm not going to say it's like exclusively for men like it used to be, but it's based on that. And of course, this is Earth's Bounty, and that's where I got honey from there. I even took a picture of that. But yeah, and of course, there's the tomatoes and those green tomatoes. People buy the green tomatoes because they like to make fried green tomatoes. Fried green tomatoes is a very popular dish here in the South. And you see them turnip greens. I don't know if those are turnips or collards. I don't know. They may be mustard greens. I just know the green. They all look the same to me. And yeah, but that's Earth's Bounty. And yeah, that day I went, they did have local honey, which is nice. And again, there is and a lot of people say, how does the downtown stay so clean? There's always volunteers. This is when, I mean, they get all kind of groups. They get the Debs, they get the Dusties. These are social clubs. They get the Boy Scouts. They get the Girl Scouts. They get like a group of senior citizens. They get different church groups. Uh, this day it was the Navy because we have NAS Meridian, and they just volunteer. And every weekend they go and they just pick up garbage and they prune the flower beds and they weed and all that. And I think that joint effort of people volunteering, and a lot of times people will set up stands like with lemonade, water, iced tea, and they'll set up different little tables for these people who are, and a lot of times the restaurants will provide it. And so they'll have something cool to drink. But yeah, so if you feel like maybe your downtown isn't being kept up, uh, y'all could organize something like that, and just let people know that you can schedule like which weekend you would like. And it's been a great success here in Meridian for years. And it's just how, because I get asked that all the time, like, how come y'all city's so clean? It's because of people like this, volunteers, which is very nice. I don't even know what this is. Oh, that's just downtown. That's just downtown, y'all. And that is actually the Raleigh Center. And that is my bank on the opposite side on the left. I'm going to load up some more. And while they're loading, I'll say hello to more people. That's 7. I'm going to try to get 10. I never know what StreamYard will let me get. Yeah, our streets underneath the asphalt, we still have a few brick sidewalks left in certain areas of town. But I remember brick streets. I remember when they dug up when they redid the 3-foot building and turned it into the 3-foot hotel. They dug up that entire area, and I actually went and I got 3 of the bricks, the old bricks that they had piled up. And just thinking about all the horse and buggies and the people back in the 1800s that walked on those streets, on them brick streets. And there's certain parts, I'll show you, in a minute. There's certain parts of downtown that are still bricked, but they've been recently bricked. So let me see. No, I didn't do it in this batch, but I'll show y'all in a minute. And this is Earth's Bounty too. I told y'all people bring like their jams, their preserves, their whatever they have, and their baked goods. And And there's some honey that I got, and it's local honey. It's local, and I'm gonna tell y'all, honey's so expensive. But you know what? Honey lasts me a good long time. Well, maybe not a good long time, but it lasts me a while. But I take my Sweet Baby Ray's, and it has to be the original. And I know they got their own version of honey barbecue, but it's not as good. I bought it and I was so disappointed. I said, Sweet Baby Ray's, what have you gone and done? You have made me very unhappy because I put this on my meat, and it's not even as good as the original. The original is thick, good, sweet. It's got molasses, but like for every 2 cups, I will put 1/4 cup of honey and make my own honey barbecue sauce, and it's so good. You slap your mama and your grandmama. You slap both of them. So yeah, so that's what I do with the honey. And of course, here's the Mississippi State cheerleaders, and this is Dumont Plaza. It's right in the middle of downtown, and they're just it's always something. Meridian's always got something going on. It really does, and there's a train right there by Union Station, and again, and that's Union Station right there, and that's the 18th Avenue overpass, and that's where because it's shaded, the bridge, and they go up under the bridge, and that's where they set up for Earth's Bounty. And Earth's Bounty, well, that's on Saturdays, but then they have the farmers market. I think pretty much like 5 days a week, maybe 6 days a week. Yeah, 6 days a week, Saturday too. And so yeah, this is the farmers market. That's not Earth's Bounty. What I showed before is Earth's Bounty. This is the farmers market. Yeah, and y'all probably have a farmers market in your area. And this here is the 3 Foot Brewery. And they do all kinds of beer, different flavored beers and crafts. What do they call them? Craft beer. I think that's what they call it. I don't drink beer. And it's a busy, busy place. This is right next to, across the street from City Hall and cornered from the 3 Foot Hotel. And it's a busy little place, y'all. And this is Full Moon on 5th, and it's just music, and they have it every Thursday, and they have a moon on each end of the street. And this is that's Blue Pants. It's just a bar, local bar that people like to go in just to hang out. People work all week, and they want to enjoy themselves. And this here is Lobes. Now this used to be in one of the older buildings, Alec Lobes. And of course, this was like in the end, well, I'm going to say maybe like 1880s. And this is like the great grandson who has it. And he relocated, um, and still does a very, they clothe like traditional Southern gentlemen. And they still do that. They still do that service. And the brands they carry are very traditional. And I was going to show y'all Clydesdales, but I didn't crop it. The Clydesdale came to Meridian. Where's that picture? I think this is it. I think you can see it from here. Come on, load. I swear. While that's loading, I'll see if anyone else has come in so I can say hello. JP, you miss a cigar only at the weekends with mates and partying. JP, are you a male or female? Because I don't know. I don't know, JP. Are you a male or female? Hi, Beth. How you doing, darling? You doing okay? I'm just doing a tour of Meridian, Beth. I'm like your tour guide. You know how Julie is the cruise director on the Love Boat? Well, I'm the tour guide of the Queen City. So let me see let me see. Let me see. There it is. Maybe y'all can see from here. This is the African American district. Can you see that? Can you see? Those are bricks, but it's like part concrete and part brick. I don't. You can't really see it. It looks a little blurry to me, but it's really pretty. I should have. I'll take a picture of it because they did a really good job and made it really nice. But this is the African American business district. And they set up that y'all. They set up these. This is like putt putt and all that kind of stuff. It's different things. I got a lot of pictures of this, but I'm not going to bore y'all with all that. But yeah, I mean, it's just things for people that they will block off a street and they just set up things for people when they're downtown, if they're shopping or something. And for the guys, you know, the guys don't mind taking their ladies shopping as long as they can maybe go get a beer or do something. So they do this kind of stuff. And they're just doing music. Another location. Oh, I'm glad, Beth. I'm glad, darling. Hi, Linda Wagner. Yeah, yeah, and it's pretty much like that, like all weekend, and then of course on Thursdays they have the full moon on. I mean, every day they have something. Every day, and of course this is just different. This is the 3 foot hotel, but this is right outside of Starbucks. And those are actually Starbucks. They got some tables and umbrellas. And because I know we have two Starbucks. The new one just opened a year ago. Um, and it's close to the interstate when you get off the interstate and a new little shopping development. But this is one that's downtown, that's inside of the 3 foot hotel. And there's always people cooking. There's always cooking going on downtown. A lot of barbecue. And not just barbecue, but there's this place right here, and it's called Culinary Park. And and this is for people who have food trucks to go and park. And and some of you in the UK may say, "What? What is this you speak of? What is a food truck?" Well, food trucks are very big, And this is called the Culinary Park right here. And if you got a food truck, I mean, you can park there any day of the week. And I have actually gone, and like if I'm downtown, I'll go, and it's different. It's different people that have them, and they offer all kind of things. Like this dude here is making, looks like, I don't know what he's making. I can't. Is that chicken wings? Is that chicken wings he's doing? Hey, Bubba, what is that? Is that chicken wings? It's whatever that is. But yeah, they're always, and they got such good food, y'all. Such good food comes out of this, and you can eat there. A lot of people that work downtown, they'll get a plate because they put them in these little to-go boxes, and they'll just sit at the little picnic tables and eat, and then go back to work. We don't. I just pick it up and take it home. Let me see. No, no, JP, it don't matter, darling. You can be whatever you want. You can be whoever you want to be. Well, Lord, I'm gonna have to get in chat with my mods, JP. Goodness gracious. I know. I'm gonna throw Bubba a snack is what I'm gonna do. Y'all gonna have to clue me in who JP is. No, you just said that about the cigars. I don't know. I don't really, but yeah, I guess women smoke cigars too. I mean, who knows? Who knows, JP? You don't even know who I am. I could be I could be a male or female for all you know. I use a voice changer after all. Let's see what else we got here. Yeah, and this is the 3 Foot Festival. And what is this? This is just another restaurant downtown. Let me load up some more. Yeah, I told y'all I was going to show y'all Meridian, but I just have to get, in order for me to show y'all, I have to get pictures, right? What is this? Oh, that's the I've already shown y'all that. And you know who I used to think was a female? Not perfect, just British. And then when I found out it was a guy, I felt so ashamed. I thought, oh, shame on you, Denise. Shame for shame for shame. 7. That's 10. I don't know. Come on, StreamYard, do me right. You know what I think StreamYard wants to do? Would you please load up? I mean, for real. I think what they want me to do is they're messing with me so that I will go to the next tier. They say, look, you're willing to pay $45, but we want you to pay $85. And this is just another this is Fair on 8. Fair, Fare on 8. And they do a lot of healthy options of food, very healthy. And they have like fresh eggs like from from the chicken coop, and they got all kind of things you can actually get to go. They got it packaged like salads and sandwiches, like if you're in a hurry and just need to go in there and pick it up and get out. Um, but this business, this little establishment has done very, very well. And there's so many different bars and stuff, y'all. It really is. And this is part of our historic black district. And this is the 3 foot hotel, and that's the box car upstairs. That's me. That's me, JP. Oh my God. Oh my God. How'd you figure it out? Yeah. And you know what, JP? Um, I don't know if y'all remember, and I want to say I may get this wrong. All I can remember is it came in either a red pack or a green pack, and I want to say it had the name More, More, on it, and they were like these little skinny. They look like cigarettes, but longer. You know, like the long cigarettes, but they look like cigars, like really skinny cigars. And I remember back in the 70s, I remember ladies smoking those, and they smelled like a cigar. Now I don't know, and I don't know why. Like you could get like a red pack, and then there was like a green one, and I don't know what the difference was, but I remember that. And if I'm not mistaken, JP, I want to say it had like this plastic filter on it. I think I'm gonna Google that because I think I might have confused the hell out of myself. But I do remember the ladies smoking those. And I know a lot of Southern gentlemen, they have, I think they call them humidors. And I could just be making that word up. But yeah, that may be what it is, Zephyr. See, I make up all kinds of shit. I do. Y'all know that. Y'all know I do that. Ah, JP, that's off. That's cool now. You know what? Those folks in Cuba, they make some good bread. When I go down to Little Havana, the first thing that comes out is Cuban bread. It's so good, y'all. Hey, do y'all realize I make up half the shit I tell y'all? Because I'm going by my memory, and my memory fails me. But I don't know. But I am going to look up because in my mind right now, I got a picture of like More, and it's like in a skinny, long red pack and a green one, and something was inside them packages. I At this time I just don't know what. That's right, Zephyr. Salsa, salsa, salsa. JP, we've made gallons and gallons and gallons. I'm talking about gallons of salsa over the years. Vast of of salsa. All kinds of salsa. I'm like the expert salsa maker. I love tacos. I made tacos the other day. I love y'all. I like it spicy. But I have problems now eating too much hot and spicy food, and it makes me really sad because in my mind it's like, oh, I know it's so good, and my stomach is like, girl, you already gave us an ulcer. You want us to come back on you with a vengeance, and it has. I thought I had gotten rid of it. I thought I was cured. I really did. And about 3 years later, it came back on me because I returned to eating the way that hot and spicy. If it's Mexican or Thai, I love it. Yeah, dancing. I love. Hey, I know all about salsa dancing. Hey, I learned a lot with my husband. I learned a lot. Yeah, that's what I use. I do masa, and I also use masa for my hot tamales. We go through a lot of masa. Got that tortilla press because you have to have one of those presses to make tortillas. Well, you don't have to. I guess if you were in a rut, you could use a rolling pin, but there's nothing like using one of those presses. Okay, let's get back to the. Okay, this is um this is just downtown. I swear, you know what someone told me the last time I took y'all on a tour of downtown? They said, y'all sure do like drinking in Meridian, Mississippi. And I said, well, this is usually, well, it's like Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. That's when most of the things happen. There's some things that happen like Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, but the majority happens like Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And I said, people get off work and they want to go out and eat, and they get them, some drinks, and they'll go around and listen to some music because there's always live music, different areas of Meridian, and that's okay. And this is the one of the art galleries. This isn't the Meridian Museum of Art. This is just an art gallery, and this is on Fifth Street. I already showed that. Just some ladies out, and they posed, and I'll say y'all sweet. And that's spelling G. It's just a dress shop. It's just a ladies dress shop. And you get all kind of artists painting downtown. Pretty much every corner, you got people painting downtown, and some people do charcoal sketches of people, and this is just one of the random one of the rent. And this is another an alley. This is also an alley, and not the alley that they're doing working on now. They they just about well, they have completed it, but they're still working on the murals and in the daytime. But this is another alley that they completed that is probably maybe half a block away from the other one with the murals. They're not going to do murals on this one, but it just gives a place for people to bring a lawn chair and sit out listening to free music. Which is, like, y'all, that's a good thing. That is a good thing. And these are just people looking at people's artwork they've done. Meridian's really, really good when it comes to supporting the art in every form. And I think it's a good thing. Let me load up some more. I think I showed y'all all these. And I think it's important to support your downtown, like if it's the merchants or if it's like these artists that just, you know, they want to sell their wares. I just think it's really important that they're able to have a place. Okay, that's 9. See if there's any here that I missed. Yeah, there's a few more. After these, I think there's going to be maybe 5 more. Okay, now this here, there's our cat again. See, that kitty cat gets all over Meridian. He goes up and down the sidewalks. He pats them streets and turns them corners. And he always hangs out at these restaurants out in front of that's the 3 Foot Brewery right there. But he knows people will come out and feed it, you know. Not a stupid cat. He's got the life of Raleigh. He really does. These are just more people selling their goods, you know, the things that they make. And some more. Oh, and that over there, that island, you see the island, um, that is a Jamaican restaurant. The guys from Jamaica got some good jerk chicken. Ooh, that jerk chicken is so good, y'all. And really good food in there. And quite a successful restaurant. And of course, this is the bulldog. It's Mississippi State Bulldogs. That's a mascot, and they got the mascot. And you can get your picture with him if you want to, you know. And they'll have him out sometimes just for the kids to, you know, to come around. And this is 601. It's one of the restaurants. There's 3 restaurants in the 3 Foot building. This is the 601. And 601, that's our area code. Our area code in Mississippi is 601. And of course, they always have classic car shows, or I guess I don't know if it's classic car shows or antique car shows. I don't know what they call it, but it's all the same. But they have it a lot. People come in and on the weekends and bring their cars to let people look at them. And I think this one's so cute. Scooby Dooby Doo. That's the mystery machine, y'all. Somebody fixed up their Volkswagen. It's not a Beetle. What Volkswagen was that called? A van? Volkswagen van, and they fixed it up like the mystery machine. Oh, Beth, I love chicken wings. That's my favorite part of the chicken, and I love them on the grill. I don't care how they. I don't care what you put on them. You don't have to put anything. All you have to do is like marinate them, and then throw them on the grill, and bring them off. I'll eat them just like that. Or if you do some of that sweet baby rays, just the original, or if you want to add some honey to it, or if you want to put some Japanese barbecue sauce, or hey, Beth, I don't care what you put on it. I just love a chicken wing. Makes me so happy, girl. But isn't that cute, y'all? Isn't that so cute? I want it so bad. It was like, and that's the AT&T, and that's right next door to City Hall. But yeah, that is what I want. I want that right there. Ruby, 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 Ruby Doo. I want a Ruby snack. I love Scooby Doo. I ain't gonna lie to you. And this was just some downtown event that they had, and they had prizes like first, second, third, you know. And they're always doing something like that. And it's usually the local downtown merchants. They'll donate stuff, for the little bags. And I think that's good, and it gets people involved. And I think that's part of having a successful downtown. The last time I did this little thing with y'all, I showed y'all a lot of things for the kids, and I think that's important too. Have things that can be done like for a family, and yeah, I just do. And we got these little things up all over Meridian as well. Y'all saw the one for the African. What do you call it? What was it? The historic African American Business District. We got these all over these signs, and that's supposed to be the Raleigh Center on that. And of course, y'all, I don't know if y'all still have newspaper machines, but we still have the Meridian Star. That's our local paper, and we still have. I remember when the newspapers cost a nickel. And then it went up to a dime, and people were freaking out. I can't believe the paper's a dime. And then it went up to a quarter. Oh my God. People were freaking out. It went up a quarter. And the Sunday edition always cost more because it was the biggest paper. And I got just a few more things. And you know what? Y'all's downtown is probably very much like our downtown. I think most downtowns are. There's a kitty once again. But don't that cat look confident? I mean, I think that's like one of the most confident cats because he knows he's got it made. He said, "Look, I'm so important." He's like Bubba, Zephyr's canine. They think they're famous now. That's what this cat thinks. This cat says, "Look, I got my very own mural in the Queen City, downtown Meridian. Now, don't tell me I'm not important." And he's sitting there like he is the king of the Queen City. And that's how Bubba is. See, notoriety, fame has gone to their heads. And that's the same for this cat. And I wouldn't lie to you. And also, I'm doing this for Zephyr. And the only reason why I'm doing this one for see, I had the Clydesdale, but I didn't crop them, so I'm not going to show them now. I'll show them next time. But we have the Queen City Fair. Yes, we do. In the fall, we get this Queen City Fair that comes in, and makes everyone happy to go to the Queen City Fair. And the only reason I go to the Queen City Fair now is so I can get me a candied apple, a cotton candy, and a corn dog, and a Coke. Wait a minute. Hold on. Hold up a minute. Coke, corn dog, candied apple, cotton candy. Do you know those all are C words? Look, those are only C words I will tolerate on this channel because those are the only reason why I go to the fair. I walk the midway, eating my corn dog and drinking my Coke. And I put some mustard on my corn dog, and I get one. I don't get those little bitty corn dogs. I get the footer. I said, I want all 12 inches. That's what I say. Give me all 12 inches. And I take that 12 inches and that weenie on a stick, and I walk around the midway. And I got my corn dog with mustard in one hand, and I got my Coca-Cola in another hand. And I'm just walking around looking at people, thinking how crazy y'all are up on them rides. And then I see that Himalaya, and I think, ooh, I could go for that. I wonder how I would do now going on that Himalaya, because that was always my favorite ride. And then I look at my corn dog and my Coke, and I think, nah, I think I'll pass. And then I go back around. I go back around the midway, and I end back up where all the food is, and I get mixed. But this time, rather than getting a 12 incher and a Coke, I get cotton candy, and I like it mixed. They say, you want blue or pink? I said, I don't. I want one of the. I want it both. Give me one of those big ones that got both. I want the blue and the pink. It all tastes the same, but in my mind, I tell myself it's different. And I say, and give me one of them, just the regular red. I don't want no nuts on it. Don't give me. I just want the plain red candy apple. And then I look at the Ferris wheel, and I say, oh, look at that Ferris wheel. Wouldn't that be good? And then I look at that candied apple, and I look at that red and blue cotton candy, and I think, nah, I'm not gonna get on that. I pass. I pass. And then it's at the Ag Center, and the Ag Center, they have the petting zoo, and they have like the little ponies that do tricks. This is for you, Zephyr. They got the little ponies, and the man said, "Oh, my little pony can do a trick." And I said, "My little pony can do a trick too. When I stick a horn on its head, and it thinks it's a unicorn." But yeah, they do, and that's all here. And then of course, that's where I get all the food, y'all. That you see the corn dog, that's where I get my corn dog. And they had the little ones. I got the 12 inch. I said, I want the mouthful. Don't give me one of them little ones. If you're gonna give me one, I want I want a mouthful. That's how I decide. Sometimes it's how you have to just decide things. And that's where I get my cotton candy and my candy apple. And if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't even bother going anymore. And then of course that's the midway part of it. There's a lot more rides that's not in it. But yeah, so when you hear me getting happy and excited about the Queen City Fair, now y'all know why. And if I don't get my three C's, I mean, no, not three, my four C's. If I don't get my four C's, it's like we're not leaving this fair till I get everything I want, and then we can leave. It's like, oh, you ready to leave? And I'm like, do I remotely look like I'm ready to leave this Queen City Fair? We are almost back around to where the food is, and once we go back around, and I get my pink and blue cotton candy and my red candied apple, and we make ourselves back around because I have to eat and walk at the same time. I said, and by the time we make ourselves back around again, then we can go home. Not a moment sooner. And y'all, that is my tour today. Yeah, this is my second tour of downtown Meridian. I know I'll give y'all little sneak peeks, but I'm talking about like a full tour. Hi, Linda Creel. I hope you're feeling better today, sweetie. I hope you were able to sleep well. Jess. Jess. Hi, Miss Possum. I've never had the chocolate covered bacon. I'll have to tell you the truth. I've never had it. Hey, John. John, I was just talking about you. I'm not even lying to you. I know, John. I have. You know what? I even had. I don't know if I have it here. I can look and see. Uh, ugh. Sorry to say, I don't. But I had. Oh yes, I do. John, look how lucky you are. I do have it. I do have it. As a matter of fact, I even got. They gave me an award. It is called the National Stained Glass. I think it's Federation. I think that's it. I think that's the name of it. The National Stained Glass Federation gave me an award for bringing stained glass back. They did. They did. Father Rocker was my escort, and he was there when I accepted the award. And they said, Sister Bernice, we thought stained glass was a lost art until you came along. And I said, well, thank you so much. As a matter of fact, John, President Trump came down along with Mississippi Governor Tate Reeves, and they both came down. And of course, they said, "Where are you going to be at Thursday afternoon?" And I said, "President Trump, I'll be at Parchment State Penitentiary, where the Delta meets the Clay, with Father Rocker and Warden Dave Murphy." And he said, "Well, we are boarding Air Force One, and of course, your governor, Tate Reeves, the Mississippi governor, will be meeting me there." And I said, "Well, come on, come right on in." And that's exactly what they did, John. They came right on in, and he congratulated me, and for my stained glass window. And it was hey, that was a big deal, John. That was about as big of a deal as me going to the Queen City Fair, getting me a foot long corn dog, a Coke, a cotton candy, the two tone pink and green. I mean pink and blue, and of course cotton, not cotton candy, but candy apple. I if I had to decide which of those events make me the most happy, I would have a hard time telling you. I really would. So please don't ask me to choose, because they're both very important in my life. So yeah. Oh, I'm so sorry, Linda. I'm so sorry, darling. And Opossum, she's not well. She's got the flu, and she hadn't. That's why she's not been in the chats, because she's been really sick. And Jess says we're starting to cook to Linda. Ooh, yeah, Jess. Now you speak my language. Steakhouse tonight. Yum yum. As ever says Linda and me got a chocolate covered bacon thing. See, I've never had that. I've never had it. Beth, we need to go right now to the Queen City Fair. Me and Beth are going, and we're going to get Linda. You want to come? You can come. If you eat bacon, you'll feel better. Bacon makes everything better. I know, Zephyr. I'm missing out on life. That's me. I always miss out on life. That's what John tells me every day. John says, Sister Bernice. I say, yes, John. He said, Sister Bernice, you miss out on some of the best parts of life. And I said, John, have you been to Parchment State Penitentiary, where the Delta meets the Clay? Have you, John? And he said, Sister Bernice, I have to say I haven't. And he said, well, Denise O'Hare. And I said, yes, John. He said, go with the men. And I said, I go with them every chance I get. Didn't I tell you that, John? John tell you. He knows I'm not kidding with him. I know. And you know what they say, John? People in stained glass churches shouldn't throw the first stone. That's a commandment. It's in the Bible. It is. That is one of the commandments. If thou is in a stained glass church, he should not cast the first stone. I think that's the hell. I can't even say that Bible. Well, one of them Bible verses. Oh, let me think about it. Is it Thessalonian or something like that? It's one of those big words. I have problems with these big words. I don't like Psalms. Maybe it's Psalms. Is it Thessalonian or something like that, John? Or Ephesians or something? One of those. It's one of them books of the Bible. That's where you'll find it. It's where you'll find it, John. And that's why I like when people come into our chapel, them inmates, you go there and you ask Eric, you ask inmate Sean. I say, okay, boys, pull your pockets out of your jumper. And they say, Sister Bernice, what are you talking about? I said, pull your pockets out. I want to make sure they're empty. Sister Bernice, we don't have weapons. We can't have weapons. I said, I'm looking for stones. You got stones? And before they come into my chapel, I check them. I said, you're not walking through the door until you show me your pockets. I'm so glad I get to educate all of y'all. I bet y'all, hey, now listen, I'm not going to get a big head. I'm not, because I'm not that way. I'm really not. I'm very measured. But y'all tell me. Y'all tell me the truth, okay? Like, after my lives, don't y'all walk away feeling just a little bit smarter? Hmm? I know y'all do. I know, I can tell. You know how I can tell? Like when y'all get over there in the WhatsApp and y'all start messaging me, I say, oh, hell, these people are smarter already. That's how I know. That's what I told Deb. I said, damn, Deb, what is all this stuff you telling me? Like, when I leave here, she'll go there and tell me something. I said, damn, you get this. You already smart, girl. Girl, I'm doing good for you, aren't I? And she said, yes, Sister Bernice. She tells me that all the time. Yep, Kathy. Yep, see, Kathy knows. Even Fiona. Fiona says, you know what? You know what, Sister Bernice? I said, what's that, Fiona? She said, I never knew what it was like to be so smart till I listened to your lives. And I said, well, there you go. I said, Fiona, don't you know? Because it says in the Bible that God works in mysterious ways. Why do you think he sends you to me? I said, ask yourself that. Every time you decide, and now I'm going to listen to Candor. Am I going to listen to Eric? Am I going to listen to Trevor? Or am I going to listen to Sister Bernice? I said, just ask yourself that. And then, of course, you're going to listen to me. You know the answer. You already know that answer, Fiona. Just do what's right. Do what God leads you to do. And why do you think he led you to me? I have this conversation with Fiona practically every day. So, and Zephyr, I just got off the phone with Zephyr. Zephyr, did I just get off the phone with you, girl? Just say yes or no. That's all you need to say. Yes or no. And I'll fill in the rest. I'm waiting, Zephyr. I ain't got all day now. Just yes or no. Yes. Yes. And Zephyr said, Sister Bernice. I said, yes, Zephyr. What can I do for you? And she said, I had this compulsion. And I said, oh, well, do tell. She said, I had this compulsion to tell you that since I started coming to your lives, I have never felt so alive. And I said, well, does that surprise you, Zephyr? And Zephyr said, no, not really. And I just realized how much I missed it. I said, well, like when you leave my life, Zephyr, do you feel a little bit better about yourself? And you know, Zephyr told me, and I'm going to cross my heart. Where's my heart? Wherever my heart is, I'll cross it. Well, I'm crossing my legs, so that should count. So this is what Zephyr said. I don't even know if I should tell y'all, but I will. Zephyr said, Sister Bernice, whenever I leave your life, it doesn't matter if it's in the morning, in the afternoon, or night. It don't matter if you're on 20 minutes or if you're on 7 hours or even 10. Every time I leave your life, I feel better about myself. I actually tell myself, Zephyr, after spending that time with Sister Bernice, I actually realize I'm smarter than I thought. She makes me feel smarter about myself. Just listening to her makes me feel like I know a lot more than I thought I did. And I said, Zephyr, that's so good of you to say that. And I said, you mean just by listening to me, I make you feel that way? And she said, every day. As soon as I click out and I say goodbye and thank y'all and I leave, I feel a hell of a lot smarter. That's that's Zephyr. And that's what you tell me. that's, that's what she said. She said, hell, I never knew how smart I was till I came to your live. And you just reiterate that. And I said, I feel so good about that, Zephyr. I'm so glad that I helped you. You know what? Someone sent me something this morning, and someone quoted me yesterday on the screenshot. Somebody had quoted me, and you know what they said? I can't even remember who sent it to me, but I laughed my ass off. Yesterday, I told y'all that I said, "Oh, I'm so tired. I'm so exhausted. I've been thinking all day." And somebody went and wrote, "Did y'all hear Sister Bernice? She exhausted just from thinking." Yep, I got that. I got that. I saved that. Hell, I'm inspiring. Hi, Dave. How you doing, Drop Bear? I sure missed you. You feel uplifted, no longer. I swear, you don't need underwire no more. I lift you up. I raise you up. Whatever those words are, but it's a nice song. I raise you up. Cause Deb says I do. And I always believe Deb. Deb says, you lift me so high, higher than any mountain, so high that I can touch the sky. And I said, Deb, I only do what the good Lord tells me to do. That's my mission. I always question, what is my mission in life? And I found that mission, y'all, right here on YouTube. So, yes. Oh, I know what sleeps with you. I know. It's cold as steel. Possum says, I was thinking, sister, now that you're a God fearing nun, you won't be able to call anyone a C word no more. I know. That's why I chose 4 other C words. Corn dog, Coke, candy apple, and cotton candy. Those are my new C words. Possum. Miss Possum, don't get it twisted. Those are my new C words. I know, Linda. I'm picturing it. I'm having a little trouble picturing it, but I'm trying to picture it. I sure am. Using that song on my guitar. Mm-mm-mm. I know, Dave. You know what? Dave, he often tells me over in private chat, he says, Sister Bernice. I said, yes, Dave. What is it, Drop Bear? And he always says, you always raise me up. And then he smiles. And I said, well, that makes me so happy, Dave. You just don't know how happy that makes me. Yeah. Beth is up. Lord have mercy. That's what we're gonna do. Yeah, Dave. I need to do the outtakes of the Flying Nun. Yeah, y'all. I know a lot of people are confused. Like, what are those montages? It's my outtakes. Look. I have to look. I have to condense things because I want to add music. You know. Now my videos, I could probably do an hour and do an hour of music. But like my shorts, I have to keep them under a minute. Otherwise, I can't add music to them. But so I have to cut out a lot, and I don't want to throw all that away because I worked hard on that. It's like I'm not throwing all that away, and I didn't know what to do with it. But at the end of my series, and I'm gonna have more. I'm gonna have more outtakes because I'm still working on. I've got one. I'm 3/4 of a way finished. I've only got like a quarter of a way to go, and I'll have outtakes, especially like for my shorts. And what I'm going to do at the end of my series, which is going to be much sooner than you think, I'm going to put everything together, and then on the end, I'm going to put all the montages, and then I'm going to post all of it to video form because y'all, I don't know why YouTube messes up all my shorts. And I look on other people's shorts and I see that they do some other people's too. I mean, it can be basketball. I'm watching basketball and I'm watching hockey, not hockey, soccer. A lot of, well, some hockey, I'd say some, but soccer and it can be people cooking. And it's like, why are y'all's videos cartoonish? It's something to do with the upload, and it sometimes it will upload right, and I don't know what it is. I can do it in video form, and it comes out perfect, the way it's meant to. And I hate that. They need to do like Instagram. I don't know who works on that. Whoever they Instagram uses, YouTube needs to steal them and pay them more money to come over and fix their crap. Because I do the same thing on Instagram and they come out perfect. But it's something about YouTube. Oh, what are y'all talking about? Hey, hey Dave, I will do that. I will pray. I will pray to the Lord and ask that as long as He brings me the cooler temperatures. We can. I'll say, can we swap? Can we swap our temperatures with Australia? I tell you, I don't like. Sometimes I'll put a word down, or it will go down, and I didn't put it down, and I don't see it. It's like I didn't say that word, and it's that text. Oh, possum! You can't say that word. You know what? Candor said that word about all. I think he's got what, five now, and somebody reported him for uh what, sexually explicit words, and he was talking about his little fur babies, his little. Hi, Faith. He's talking about his pussy cats, and somebody was reporting him. It seems like you can't name your cats what you want to name them. Faith, you doing okay, darling? I'm so glad, darling. I talked to your mama today. Y'all, can you believe the weekend's over? Or just about over? It's what? Well, I mean, it's not over for me. It's only 3:30 here, but in about 6 hours, I'm going to go to bed, and it will be over. How is it that the weekend just flew by? It was just Friday. What is going on? It's still the afternoon here, Faith. It's sunny, hot. Oh gosh, it's so hot here now. I think we have 2 more days, and I think we're going to get like to 88. We're like getting close to hundreds now, but I can't wait to get back down to 88. Ah, thank you, Beth. Thank you, darling. Now, Beth, if you want me to cry, I can cry. If any of y'all want me to cry, just let me know, and I'll cry a little bit. She sure does, Possum. Gosh, that's where I want to be. I love when I don't have to run heat, air, not even a fan, unless I just want to move the air. Sometimes, even when I don't need a fan, I'll turn on a ceiling fan just to kind of circulate the air. But it's not, to cool off or anything. It's just to move the air around. Um, I, that's the type of temperatures that I love, and I wish that I had more days of those. It's a very short period, but if I cry, you'll kick my arse. See, that's what I would love. See, I think I think staying cool is a lot more difficult than getting warm. I can't survive without my air conditioning, not down here. And I don't know how our ancestors lived down here in this heat and wearing dresses like this, y'all. Oh crap! I took them off. Like my Going with the Wind. It's like how did these women wear all the and see they had pantaloons, they had petticoats, they had these hoop skirts, and they had these. I'm trying to find even my grandmother. She was born in 1893, and they were still wearing the long dresses and layers. And for me, I don't know how they survived it. But, they say that people were actually cooler because there wasn't a lot of concrete. I mean, you had brick streets, which was made of clay that absorbed the heat, you know. But then you didn't have the asphalt, and you didn't have um, the concrete. You didn't have these big plate glass windows. You had windows in your house, but they were very narrow windows compared to the windows today. And also you had shade trees. You had majestic oaks. You built your houses where there's a grove of trees. I mean, even just looking at that looks hot to me. Like that's too damn hot, y'all. I don't have it up here, possum. I don't have it to show. See, let me see what I have. If I have anything. I'll look, possum, but I don't think I have it on my phone. Just give me a second. Just give me 1 second. Oh crap! No, 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 no! I don't want all those. Okay. Give me 1 second, Miss Possum. Y'all, I'm having so much fun with the Bedlam and Beyond. It's like, dang, I can't believe how much fun I'm having. Hmm. Let's revisit something, y'all. Shall we? Shall we revisit something? Something or other. Oh, okay. I'm hoping this will all add. I'll be so pissed off if it don't. If it don't, come on, StreamYard, do me good. We're gonna walk down memory lane. Well, I did this one. This one with Miss Possum. But then she needed to be Warden Dave Murphy's secretary over Parchment State Penitentiary where the Delta meets the clay. And of course, her working side by side with Dave. They foiled the aluminum foil heist, is what they did. We were on them. They were so busy with that heist, they weren't even paying attention to the security screen, the footage behind them. No, they weren't. And they said, take the money and run. That's what Dave said. Warden Murphy said, take the money and run. And Miss Possum said, but Warden Murphy, all I have is aluminum foil. And he said, that's exactly what I mean. Take it and run. But wait just a minute. I got to change into my kilt. And meanwhile, I was inmate Sean. I was busy with inmate Sean saying, once I get your height, your weight, your fingerprints, well, and of course, here comes out the Peter meter. And I work hard, y'all. I work very hard. And I said, come on, we got to get you ready. I had to tell him how we had to do the showers. I said, look, Sean, inmate Sean, you're in good hands. You might end up calling me Allstate for all I know, because you'll be telling yourself, I'm in such good hands. And that was my nickname. That was actually my nickname with the inmates. They say, hey, Sister Allstate. And I say, hey. Yep. No better hands. No better hands. And here, Possum, I, I said, Possum act like she was trying to teach me what to do. I said, look here, girl. I got this. You follow my lead and you be okay, Possum. Miss Possum, that's the truth, and that was the truth. That's all they would let me load. I couldn't look because I had some other pictures on. I didn't delete, but yeah, just going down memory lane. We're still in that lane, y'all. Uh, uh, Sister Bernice hadn't gone anywhere. She's still at Parchment State Penitentiary. Father and Rocker and I, we are still doing good works. We do good works every day of the week. We do. Oh, is he going to Rumble? Y'all, let's get out here. I've been over here almost 2 hours. Let's go Rumble. Let's get it ready to Rumble. Thank you all for coming on my tour. and down memory lane. Thank you to my mods for coming and helping me out in the chat. I always appreciate you. And thank you for everyone who came and joined in the chat. I thank you as well. And I want you to know that I'm going over to Rumble. And I hope y'all come with me. And I'll see you on the other side. Y'all have a good night, everyone. I'm still in the afternoon. It's only 3:45. Bye, y'all. Bye, Jess, darling. Bye, Beth. Was Kay here today? Did Kay miss this? Kay. Hey, Kay. Kay, you here? I didn't see you, Kay. I'm taking your name. Let me write down Kay's name. Just a minute. Kay. All right, Kay. You on my list, Kay. I got you right here on my list. Kay. Anyway, y'all be well. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye. Yes. Uh-oh. Yes, Beth Kendor. Over on Rumble. And I know some of y'all hadn't subscribed, and I understand why. Some of y'all don't want to, and I understand that. But y'all can still watch. You can still watch it. I think you just can't comment, if I'm not mistaken. I think I have that right. Anyway, bye, y'all.